There was a time when I needed performance to know who I was. Now I don't. Now I'm driven by something deeper. Normally, like most of the Olympic athletes, like if you ask somebody to come try out, it would be like someone who probably doesn't have a family or like isn't married with children. Whereas Saturday morning on a training day,
oh my lord,
there's Willie Nelson and 3 guitars. It's completely atypical to work with somebody who this is the environment. Hi, I'm Sarah, and welcome to the start of the LA 2028 Olympic Quad. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, some people would say that to follow one path and be so dedicated to it and to be relentless is actually just stubbornness. I feel like I've led, in my life, I feel like I've always just kind of led with intuition. I'm like, this feels good, this feels right, I'm gonna figure out how to do it. Why do I keep coming back to this over and over again? Why haven't I ever left sailing? Maybe it's an addiction. I think in the beginning it was a little bit of unhealthy ego. Over here, like this is who I should be, so I need to keep chasing it. You just want to tell me something? Did you have any dreams? Oh yeah. The boat that I sail is a fully foiling 2-person catamaran. The foils in the water work like airplane wings, but under the water. And we come out and we hydrofoil on top. And it's a very exhilarating and beautiful boat to sail. One of the coolest things about the NACRA is that it's a mixed gender boat. The configuration is irrelevant. And so this is one of the fastest boats in the Olympics, and it's beautiful to watch. Games was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It was fulfilling, it was exciting, it was thrilling. But going into the games, our main goal when we went into that games was to give everything we had, to give our best, and to do it in a way that we would be proud of. Certainly knowing that my 3-year-old son, and my husband, and my mom, and my uncles, and my best friends, everyone had flown to Marseille to see us compete. And when we would sail in past the breakwater each day, they were there. Like they had been on land all day, watching whatever we did, struggling with us through every moment. And when we would sail in, they would be waving the flag and shouting our names. All that support did really help ground us and keep us present and allow us to really rejoice in the moment of like, hey, we reached this incredible level. But the little bit of shame of underperforming, it's hard to escape it and not have shame attached to it, and instead create fuel that's needed to do something else, something more. And my psychologist asked me at some point, like, why did you keep doing this? It sounds like it was really unpleasant. Why do you want to do it again? So the person you sail with for 4 years becomes kind of your spouse in a sense. We're in mid-November 2025 and I'm actively interviewing potential teammates. So I have someone here who's sailing with me and we're trying to get to know each other and see if it's the right fit. So going into LA 2028, it feels so important for me to find someone that I have that chemistry with. You spend almost every hour of the day together. And in sport, in any sport, you experience like these really high intensity moments together. So that person and you should have good chemistry. And that's what makes crew selection and teammate selection right now kind of overwhelming.
It was good. I like sailing with Sarah. She's very patient and, I don't know, open to new ideas, and she recognizes that, so that's cool.
And it also is challenging because all of the people trying out, I really enjoy. I don't want to let anybody down. I think that going into 2028, I'm feeling much more like myself. And so now I think I know what I need and what I want. And I'm also 37 years old. And I think I'm in a place in my life where I don't have time for things that don't work for me. Well, for sure, like we've always done things in our own way. My husband is an artist. Our home is a studio and a house. And also there's a huge storage area for Olympic sailing equipment. So we've always really meshed our passions and our projects together. And so yesterday, Emmett was sort of available to come out on the coach boat and help. It was just a really cool experience to have him there. And so at the end of the day, I was hoping there would be more wind, but I asked him to jump on the boat so he could just have a little feeling. Growing up in Miami, my grandfather was a sailor. He had a big boat, and his dad, so my great-grandfather, had started sailing when they were living in Brooklyn, in New York. He joined the only yacht club in Brooklyn. I don't know, the family story is it was the only yacht club in Brooklyn that accepted juice. And so he bought a boat and started sailing and racing, taught his son, my grandfather, who taught my mom, my uncles, and then my mom put me in sailing classes, and I hated it.
Baby, I'm excited that the car.
It was awful. It was terrifying. I was like, please don't send me to sailing class. I don't want to go. But several years passed, and somehow I was in middle school, and I heard there was a sailing team, and I thought, that sounds way more fun than volleyball. In anything that I feel afraid of, I think in my life I've always taken those things as challenges.
Being an Olympic athlete is all encompassing. You have to figure out how to show up better in every single aspect, every single day.
I think it's the balance, because she is a parent, she's a mom, and a professional sailor. And it means that you have to balance that thing with your family and putting in enough time on the water to be competitive and be at that level.
Which is a sacrifice, and that's what life is, the balance. And Olympic campaign is a really good example of that kind of balance.
Sarah was one of those people for me all throughout the journey, and I really admire her a lot as an athlete, but also as a human and as a mom now, and what she's doing is just absolutely incredible.
It's amazing to see what she accomplishes, because initially it was, you did an Olympic campaign and there was nobody really full-time, and now she's a parent, very involved, and full-time. And I think of in the last campaign how many miles her son Iron went through and traveled, and everywhere he went, and how involved she is still as a parent and able to do the campaign.
Olympic.
Love it. I love it. Thank you. In sailing, weight is very important. Making the right weight for the physics of the boat. So I've always talked about my body weight and been very open about it because it's part of my job. The pregnancies made that process really interesting. And in each of my pregnancies, I gained between 40 and 50 pounds. And the process of losing the weight afterward was hard. So after my first pregnancy, it took me almost 3 years to get back to exactly where I wanted to be in terms of fitness and weight. And that was a hard road, very frustrating. It was like one day at a time. And somehow accepting wherever I'm at, but just, I don't want to. And so this time around, my second pregnancy, I did a little bit better with my diet and my nutrition management. And now my baby is 5 months old and I'm within 10 pounds of my optimal weight for the boat. I thought that I would be more comfortable with these changes because I'm an athlete and because I've always been comfortable talking about body weight and because I've treated my body more like a tool so I could embrace it, no matter what was happening. And the reality was that it was difficult. My self-image became in question because I always saw myself as fit and healthy and where I wanted to be. Like I didn't know my body or I didn't know myself. And it's also very frustrating to lose the ability to do certain things. That took me like 2 years to get pull-ups back after iron. No, I mean, I think my vanity has come into play, like just I don't like seeing a number on the scale that I don't like. And I like to believe I'm the kind of person who's like above that. And anything I would ever tell other people about their bodies and about their health is like all about feeling fulfilled and eating what makes you happy and being fit in the sense that you do what makes your body healthy too, So it's surprising what you learn about yourself.
Pretty good, pretty solid. It's not as much fun as full-on foiling. It's like a lot of dynamic movement, and it's really nice to practice that after having the baby. It's one of the first days back in the boat where I'm moving my body like that. And it's not easy. It's like the way it was during the games. So just like believing that will come back. And yeah, being okay with meeting my body where it's at after having a baby.
I think all of that being said, there's always the fear of not being successful. When you put yourself out there, to do something so big and so bold and so challenging, when there's space for only one person to succeed at that's intimidating. And it's a challenge to anyone's ego, for sure. So it's a little scary to imagine failure, but I think that to be an athlete, you have to be able to hold space for that at the same time that you believe in yourself. And that's just the ongoing challenge.
That's recording.